come with a bang, and don't you want to boogie on this Friday? And happy holidays, America. Happy holidays, world. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the Discussion Combustion Happy Friday America YouTube channel. Always such a pleasure to be here. Hopefully everyone's getting festive. We're getting festive. If you saw last Discussion Combustion, that was kind of holiday themed, a lot of fun. I hope everyone's having a great time. You know that was the Frickishinas who brought us in. My name is Arthur Rawe, and I am sitting across the table from a good friend of mine. Is he on the nice list? Is he on the naughty list? I don't know, but his name is Kevin Batstone.
And happy Friday, America. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you're having a tremendous season. We're obviously going to kick your weekend off right. We got a long holiday weekend coming up. Great show packed for you. Let's go, Art.
Let's go, baby. And today in history on December 22nd, what happened? To start this off, I'm going to go back to 1851. And this one was kind of interesting because this is when the very first train was operated. And I know you know, but any guesses out there to the listeners where this train was first operated in the globe? It was in India. Roorkee, India is where it was first operated. So I thought that was a cool one to throw in.
Yeah, taking it back a little bit to the first freight train. Man, the freight train kind of changed the game.
Oh, yeah.
On getting stuff from A to B. I mean, you're in the freight business. You're in logistics. You've seen how far it's come.
I mean, if you can get something from here to there, then you're doing something good. So moving forward a little bit to 1915, organized baseball and Federal League sign a peace treaty. Look, I didn't even know about any of this stuff. A Federal League, a Major League a peace treaty. What were they like at war with each other? So apparently there was like more than one type of baseball league prior. And so they signed a peace treaty in Cincinnati, and then the Federal Baseball League dissolves. You know more about this, Kev.
Well, I mean, I like sports. I don't know a ton about the sports history. I mean, I remember my Boston Red Sox. I say my Boston Red Sox. I didn't really grow up a Sox fan, but being in New England, we knew about the Curse of the Babe and going way, way back to the old times of baseball. So kind of crazy that it would occur on December 22nd, 1915, that they were able to settle this peace treaty in Cincinnati. But hey, man, it's a piece of history, and I like that you brought it up. I like going a little bit of sports. So keeping it moving to 1941, Winston Churchill arrives at D.C. for the wartime conference. It's kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yep, one of our very best allies as far as, and also who we had to go to war against to get our own freedom. So that's kind of interesting, but definitely a crazy time in the world, and everything changed after that. And, of course, because at the end of World War II, nuclear weapons came into effect. So you know that I had to go ahead and throw in some USSR.
It wouldn't be today in history without.
Yeah, come on. There's some nuclear tests that happened on December 22nd. And the USSR, they performed a nuclear test in Novaya Zemlya. I don't know how to say it.
Just say it quick.
Yeah. How's it go?
Novaya Zemlya.
See, way better than I was doing it. And then, so 1962, they performed one there. And then also 1971, they did an underground test. That's a twofer.
On this
9
day in
years
history.
apart. Yeah, 9 years apart there.
Yeah, on this day in history. Yeah, obviously testing going on. So 1997, MTV really getting the ball rolling with cancel culture. Back on one of my favorite at the time. Things come on and watch TRL and watching music videos back when MTV was designed to do.
It was good back then for that.
Well, on this day, they removed Prodigy song "Smack My Bitch Up" from broadcast rotation.
Okay.
It was no longer able to be aired. I don't know if it was due to the lyrics, if it was due to
probably
some of the content in the video.
Yeah.
But that song went viral back in '90s. It was huge.
Wasn't there like a lot of drug usage in that video, if I do recall?
Prodigy in general was just a mess. If you saw those guys, the way they would perform, I mean, just in your face, British guys. But I didn't realize that it got removed from MTV's rotation until we did a little deep dive into history.
Yeah,
here.
And now MTV doesn't even really play music videos.
No,
it's
it's just ridiculousness TV.
Yeah, basically.
And I mean that quite literally. That's the name of the program that they air.
He took over that channel.
It's just Rob Dyrdek TV.
He took over.
Yeah, it's that RDTV.
What else is taking over, man?
Well, I'll tell you what else is taking over is Christmas. It's the time, guys. It's the holiday. It's go time. Are you prepared? Do you have all your last-minute shopping done? Do you have your stocking stuffers? Do you have your tree up? I would hope so by now because, look, there is a 103-year-old Christmas tree that sold Art for $4,296.13. 103 years old. It went off to auction at over there at the Britton Hanson's Auctioneers. This thing dates back to early 1920s.
Okay.
I mean, it's just seen so much history and being passed through this family, and it's seen incredible things over there in England. And it sold for almost $4,300 at auction. If you scroll down and click the link to this article, you can see a picture of it.
Yeah.
I know you're probably expecting something like ridiculously exciting.
I was.
But this was one of the first artificial Christmas trees that went to market back at this time. So for whatever the case may be, it holds a value of $4,300.
It was underwhelming when I saw it. I was like, this thing?
Our fern over there is better than that.
Yeah, right over here. Yeah, over my left shoulder. No, but like I was expecting something really cool, something fancy, like robust looking. But then I go to see it and it looks like an arts and crafts type of thing. But the fact that it looks as good as it does, it's well preserved.
Yeah.
Kudos to the families who kept that tree and kept it safe. And just think about all the memories that have, that's hopefully it's been out every Christmas. So for 103 years, it's been celebrated around. Cool energy, a little underwhelming on the looks of the tree, but the story behind it's definitely worthy. It's worthy.
Well, yeah.
You are worthy.
It's just a piece of history, and Christmas traditions change, but one thing that hasn't is the fact that folks like Christmas trees. It's been a tradition for a long time. So pretty cool. 103 years old, goes for almost $4,300, and the legend lives on.
And you can definitely tell that it's old because it has candle holders in it. Like,
yes.
What do you buy other than like candle stands nowadays they don't put candle holders in the modern Christmas trees that you're buying.
And the trees, I don't want to say they've evolved a bit, but there's different styles of it. Some people like doing the Charlie Brown tree, or they like the mega trees that they cut down in the woods, or you have the little, like what we had in discussion combustion yesterday. Those kind of trees are fun, I feel like. Those are the kind of trees I like.
Yeah, what's your family tree tradition? What do you do? Leave it down in the comments.
Family tree tradition.
Yeah, what's your family tree tradition? Sticking with the tradition of learning throughout one's entire life, we have a studious example of a wonderful recent graduate of a university in North Texas. So a 90-year-old woman earns her master's degree in Texas. She becomes the oldest person, the eldest student to complete her coursework. And she earned a master's degree in interdisciplinary studies.
Incredible.
And her name is Minnie Payne. What a sweetheart. She actually worked as a professional and as a transcriptionist. That's what she was in her career.
Yeah, word processor,
Yeah, so she loved to learn. She loved to read. She loved to do all that sort of stuff. That really interested her. So she retired when she was 68 and then decided to go back to school.
It's great.
So that's pretty crazy, man. Getting that, staying dedicated your whole life, continuing to learn. I think it's a great example. And her quote, she's always worked with words. She always liked to write. So almost immediately went back to school after retiring. She wanted to improve. She wanted to improve on herself. She says, I want to improve on myself. And so that's, a lot of people take their foot off the gas, right?
Right. Especially when they get to retirement age, like, I'm done, and that's all well and good, too. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you've worked hard to be 68 and you can retire and go on your boats and do whatever you do, that's all well and good. But Minnie Payne said that's not good enough for me. And, yeah, she could have finished a little sooner, according to the article, but she stayed the course to get the most out of the education and wanted to take it to the next level. So it kind of goes back to what I always say is you can own it at any moment. It doesn't matter if you're, 30, 60, 90, a master's degree. That's terrific. Congratulations.
Yeah, and if you didn't watch yesterday's episode of Discussion Combustion, our guest on there just recently got a bachelor's degree in history. So
incredible.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter how old you are. You can always continue to learn and continue to go after things. What a motivating story. Thank you, Minnie Payne, for keeping it up and inspiring us. I mean, I'm 12 degrees away from an associate's degree, and that was like 20 years ago. And so here we are now. But 20 years ago, I may have been setting a record, but we know somebody who's setting records daily.
I'll tell you what, having a record year is Mr. David Rush. We've talked about this guy from Happy Friday Denver to Happy Friday America now. The man can't stop breaking records. And I just, the Kev's Random Records, I see a lot of what's going on. There's cool records happening. But when I saw his name again.
Yeah, when I saw it pop up on the script this week, I was like, Mr. Rush again?
Yeah, he did it again, guys. He did it again.
Man.
This time, he's pencil snapping. That's right.
Oh, my goodness.
You heard it right. He is snapping pencils. He snapped the most pencils in 30 seconds to take the new records to 63 pencils in 30 seconds. Or that's averaging about one snap per just under half a second. So think about that. I mean, you're just snap, 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 going down the line.
Yeah.
I think, we tried the paper airplane one that David Rush
That was not
also
easy.
set, where you had to fold it and get it airborne.
Yeah.
We failed horribly.
Yes.
This one, I think I could give it a try. The question is, I don't know if I want to purchase over 65 pencils to give it an attempt.
No. Yeah, because you're not getting it on your first try. So it's like, okay, now that I got my rhythm down, what do you practice with 10 pencils at first until you get your pencil snapping rhythm down? Can you do like multiple at the same time to like cut it? There has to be rules to it.
Yeah, so if you, again, scroll down, click the link, you'll see there's like a long table laid out, and there's a pencil every, couple inches staggered out through this table, and he just kind of essentially goes down and is just, ripping them the whole way. I think that's probably the best way to do it, other than maybe, roping 10, 15 together and snapping them that way. But I don't think that Guinness book would allow that. It had to be individual pencil snaps.
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting. Like, who is coming up like with some of these records? Like, oh, I bet you somebody one day was just chilling and they're like, I bet you nobody has broke as many pencils as we just broke in that amount of time. And then all of a sudden it becomes a thing.
It became a thing. I mean, Guinness Book has always kind of, going back to the 90s, and I remember reading, we talked about this, Guinness Book of World Records would come out, and we get excited, we read through it. And now it's just, everybody has so much access to break records because of the internet, because of the fact you can film it, because you can send it directly to the book, and they can verify it right then and there. David Rush is like, man, I'm going to take full advantage of this, and I'm going to keep snapping pencils and making airplanes.
I mean, does David Rush hold the record for breaking records?
I think he is on.
Like, if we find that he does that, I don't know, man. It's like worthy of retirement. Like, come on, man.
When you break the most records.
What does he do? What does he do then? What does David Rush do next?
He just keeps setting the bar higher.
What do you do next, David?
You just set that bar high. And become the greatest record breaker of all time.
Yeah, maybe you break the record of listens on Discussion Combustion and come on over as a guest. Something like that.
That'd be cool. I'd like to talk to David Rush. Maybe reach out to him another time to do that. But, man, he's been having a record year, like I said last week on Happy Friday. David Rush does get the Random Record of the Year award winner.
Is there an award for that?
For Happy Friday, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that goes to David Rush. We'll see if he finishes out the year next week on our final episode of 2023. Does David Rush do it again? You have to stay tuned.
I don't know. But all I do know is that we absolutely are so happy that everybody is participating in our Would You Rather polls and getting involved with these questions, leaving comments below and going to Twitter/X to check out our Would You Rather questions. Kev, what are the results from last week?
So according to, of course, as everyone knows, go over to our Twitter X profile if you want to participate in the live poll that goes up every Friday, or just leave a comment down below. But the poll over on Twitter X, that's at Happy Fry USA. Last week, Art, it was kind of a complicated, a little bit of a Would You Rather, just in the sense of there was extra stipulations, and it was basically a would you do that or not kind of thing. So you could move into your dream house anywhere in the world, acreage, have everything you want, but you couldn't travel. Those were the restrictions. And you and I both said, man, that sounds cool, but we're not doing that.
Everyone I talked to in person said, I'm not moving in.
Interesting results here over on Twitter X. 100% of the vote went to the people who were taking the dream home.
Really?
So, again, I think this might be back-to-back weeks where there was a little confusion around the Would You Rather and kind of how it reads. Because the week before that, it was the hot shower, hot food, and people were getting, I think, a little confused with that. Possible. But 100% said, I'm taking the dream home any which way I want it, and I ain't traveling.
Huh. I wonder. Because, like I said, everybody that I've met in person wants to continue to travel.
It's interesting.
So
just goes to show you the difference between social media and live action.
Yeah, you never know. And also reading something versus actually talking about it. Like if you can't meet in person, then it's better off having a video call. If you can't do a video call, then you're better off having an audio call. If you can't do that, then you can send the written. That's like, I don't know, my forms of communication, how I would do it.
That's fair, and I agree with that. So moving on to this week, obviously Christmas theme. We got 2 Would You Rathers this week. All right, I'll take the first one. Being that it's the holiday, it's like we're keeping this episode kind of holiday-based and balancing out a little bit. So, Would You Rather Part 1 is, would you rather give up the Christmas tree and decorations, the lights, the Clark Griswold, all the fun things, would you rather give that up, or give up the Christmas food, the treats, the candy canes, the nice meals, the punch, eggnog, all the edible things that are typically linked to Christmas.
Like the holiday banquet, basically.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, your traditional Christmas food and beverage and treats, or you're giving up the tree and decor and lights and all that
And
kind
like
of stuff.
the ambiance.
Yep.
Okay, so it's basically ambiance over palette.
To simplify it, yes.
Yeah, sort of thing. Okay, I'm going to keep the ambiance, only because my family is not so traditional with Christmas. So like, we don't need to have the Christmas themed foods and all that's fun. It's great. I love it. But I look I look forward more to the feel, the warm, cozy feels, and like kind of. So I'm keeping the decor. I'm
going to go the other way on this one.
Okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of decor. I do have a couple little snowmen at the house. I don't have a tree up in my house. So I've never been the biggest fan of Christmas decor outside of being a kid. I loved it when I was young.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the food, the treats, the eggnog. I'm going to keep that, right? And I'm going to forego the decorations, the lights, and all that stuff. I'm keeping my candy canes. I'm keeping the Christmas treats, the hors d'oeuvres, and all the fun things that come with it.
So you must have like eggnog at your house right now, or something.
Actually, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping you didn't.
I have eggnog.
Dang it.
I have a half gallon of it in the fridge.
Oh, solid lad. Yeah.
But that's one of those things I can't drink a lot of.
Yeah, you just have like an 8-ounce glass or something. Like something
maybe
small.
even smaller than that.
Like 6 ounces.
Just to get that taste, that
like
holiday flavor.
A coffee cup worth.
Well,
Wait,
I mean,
didn't we talk?
We
talked
did
about,
a whole experiment on this.
Yeah, we talked about all that.
Yeah,
it's 10 ounces, right?
Look, there's a lot of different sized coffee cups out there, and they hold different amount of fluids, but they all return the same result.
Okay.
You're getting the flavor, you're getting the taste, you're getting the fun.
All right. So for part one, what are you going to pick? Are you going with the ambiance, or are you going with the taste of Christmas and the holidays? So that's part one. We got 2 would you rathers on this one. All right. So the second one that we got here, we have to talk about the gifts a little bit. So are you a gift giver or are you a gift receiver is basically how we're breaking this one down. So would you rather only give gifts or would you rather only receive them, Kevin?
I think it's a tough would you rather. It really is, because everyone loves getting a gift, right? It's fun. You exchange things. Actually, I was going to bring your gift and give it to you live on the air tonight, but I forgot to do that.
Excellent.
And I'm assuming you don't have mine either.
I do not.
So no gift giving live action.
That would have been fun. Why didn't we talk about doing that?
I know. I just thought of it.
We should have done that.
Because I don't think I'm going to see you before Christmas.
We won't. I don't think. Maybe we will.
You might see me. Anyway, so giving and receiving, right? There's pros and cons to both, right? Because you can give. You're not necessarily receiving anything in return gift-wise. I think I'm going to take that route. As a kid, I love gifts, right?
Yeah.
I wanted the toys. I wanted the walkie-talkies, the laser tag, all the fun things as a kid. You want to receive gifts. But as I've gotten older, and you can give gifts in a lot of ways. Meals. It doesn't always have to be a physical item. I guess a meal is physical, but a lot of ways you can give, I feel like. And so just given the circumstances, as much as I do love receiving gifts and people are very thoughtful and send me very nice things and get me nice things, I am taking being a gift giver.
Yeah. I'm going to go that same route as well. And because it's a little fun, like you think that you might have nailed it and got the perfect gift, but you don't know if they're actually going to like it or not. And so it's fun, the anticipation and kind of giving the joy back. I would agree as we grow and mature as human beings, hopefully we start to give back more. And I'm going to go along with that theme. I'm giving gifts.
Yep.
I'm keeping the decor and I'm giving the gifts.
I'm taking the treats and I'm giving gifts as well. It's fun. And the old saying, it's the thought that counts.
Yes.
And I like those thoughtful gifts when you put. It's not just, hey, here's a gift card to Red Lobster. That's all well and good. That's a nice gesture. You're thinking of someone and giving them a meal. But I feel like those thoughtful gifts kind of carry more weight.
Yeah.
So
even if they're inexpensive or custom made or something like that.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
They come from just a different part of the giving way. So that's the Would You Rather. Let us know what you guys are choosing down below. Twitter X over there at Happy Fry USA. The polls will be up while you're watching this. So keeping it moving. Christmas themed, of course. Christmas movies. We like talking movies. I'm not the biggest Christmas movie fan. I was kind of reading through.
But you do love Christmas music the most out of anybody I know, which I think is a really admirable trait of yours.
This is incorrect. I don't like Christmas music. It irritates me after all the years in the grocery biz is the main reason why. Okay?
I can't believe I got that wrong.
Yeah, I can't believe you did either.
I can't believe that.
I sense a little Art's being facetious over here. I don't really like the Christmas music, but some of the movies, look, I grew up with them. So Home Alone's my favorite. We all know that. It's my favorite Christmas movie. I've done shows on it. It's pretty fun.
That's not even on top 5.
Didn't make it in the top 5. No, it didn't. But each list was a little bit different, but I found the one that was the most consistent. So we're going to go from 5
cool.
down to 1.
So you did like an average. You looked at a couple of different ones, and then you like grabbed the average. So
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I like that.
Yeah, and feel free to scroll down, take a look at this list for yourself. I think a lot of these are going to be pretty predictable. Coming at number 5 is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I mean, just a classic movie, 1966, which, oh, by the way, was one of the featured films inside of Home Alone, right? Kev's watching it, and there's cool things going on. So that comes in at number 5. Elf with Will Ferrell. Zoe Deschanel. I mean, really well done production back in 2003. It's hard to believe that movie is 20 years old now.
Yeah.
Great film.
It is a great film.
Great film.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And then coming in at 3 is Charlie Brown's Christmas. Jamie Rourke, I know that you're going to be watching that, hopefully with a cup of hot chocolate. That one came out in 1965.
Yeah, year before How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So some of these classics are old school. Obviously, You'll Shoot Your Eye Out, The Red Rider, classic that they used to air 24 hours a day. I don't know if they still do that or not, but A Christmas Story. I always remember growing up, that would just be on in the background. Fragile. So many classic one-liners that came out of that. Gets his tongue stuck to the pole. When was the last time you watched A Christmas Story, Art?
I watched Elf recently.
Okay.
But that was A Christmas Story, but not the movie A Christmas Story.
Well, that's what I meant specifically.
So, honestly, no, I know. I was playing with you. But so I know most of these pretty well, except for I don't think I've seen the number 1 recently. That's the one that I've seen the least out of all of these, I believe.
It's a Wonderful Life, coming in at number 1, 1946. I'm pretty sure I've known that even since I was a kid. It was one of my mom's favorites. It's talked about a lot. A lot of Christmas tradition follows in with that film. And so, again, this list is going to be tailored differently per generation, per opinions, movie critics, what have you. Home Alone, in my opinion, should have been in the top 5. It wasn't, but that's my personal favorite. Art, what's your personal favorite Christmas movie?
My personal favorite, man, it's kind of tough. I really do. I did enjoy the animated Grinch. That one was really cool. It was just kind of fun. I like the cartoony, like Pixar type of stuff a lot though too. So those are fun. I just think it's fun to get into the spirit, kind of rewatch some of these movies, laugh about it, have some fun, maybe share it with people who haven't seen it before. And it's a great way to kind of wind down too. Like we're all finishing, we're winding down for the night. Let's just put on a good movie. Everyone's cozy. Like. Let's get into it. So check out this list to find some good ones, especially if you're sick of the top 5 and you want to start looking for some other ones. It's a big list.
Yeah, there's some good ones. We just don't have time to go through all 45. So, yeah.
Sticking with the elf theme here, though, if you live in New York on the 18th, on December 18th, there was some commotion happening on the Long Island Expressway, and people were treated to an unusual sight. And that is because the sleigh from 2003's Elf was being escorted by police to its location. They were taking it to, let me see here. They were parking it near a park somewhere so people could go take pictures with it and stuff.
That's great.
And go get that joy going. So what the story behind this sleigh is this awesome dude, Mark Bozek of Huntington, Long Island. He purchased the sleigh for about $12,000 a couple decades ago, and then he actually donated it to the fire department for Hale Site Fire Department. And what they have done is they have a committee that goes through annually, pretties the sleigh up, they paint it, they fix any chips, cracks, anything of that nature, and they make it look amazing so then they can go do what they're doing with it right now, and that's sharing the Christmas tradition of the movie Elf, which a lot of people love. And it's their way to give back. So I think that's a fun story.
Yeah.
And for this holiday season, really hope that everybody can find a little bit of joy in their days and their lives, and more importantly, share that joy with the ones around us. And even if they're not close, like if it's just passing somebody in the hallway, or just being a little more friendly or respectful. Maybe you hold the door for that young couple, right? Maybe not just the old people get the door held for them. Like we hold it for the young couple. So, let's share the joy. Let's pass it along.
Spread the cheer. Spread the the holiday spirit. That's what gets the sleigh to fly. You got to have that right amount to get that thing airborne.
This is true.
And it's always cool to see like decor and items that come out of movies that were auctioned off. I remember being in San Diego one time. Comic-Con was happening, and they had the original Ghostbusters car there on display.
Okay.
And good buddy of mine, Mark, and I were out there, and we had a chance to see it live action up close and personal. So this is pretty cool, especially if you're a big fan of Elf. Obviously, we just talked about it. It's 4th all time on the ranks. So a lot of people love this film. They'd love to go take a picture with the sleigh. It's just fun. It gets people together. The community's out there having some fun, looking at the lights, rocking around, and you get to see this badass sleigh out there. Pretty cool stuff, man.
Yeah, big shout out to all of the fire departments, paramedics, police, crews out there keeping everybody safe during these holidays and year-round. We appreciate you and support you 100% here. So, on to our next segment here. It's about time that we talk some weather, and it's about time that you get it from our chief meteorologist here at Happy Friday America, Kevin Batstone.
Yep, thanks, Art. Time for a weather update. Everyone always wants to know about a white Christmas, right? People talk about that. I grew up in New England, so they were pretty common. Sometimes we would already have existing snow on the ground that just lingered in.
It's hanging out there.
Yeah, it's just there because when it snows in New England, it really doesn't go away until springtime. But out here, it's looking like Denver, Colorado, guys, we're recording right now, has really one of the best chances for the major cities. Obviously, the Rocky Mountains really looking good. These guys are going to get some snow this weekend. So if you're up in the Aspen area, if you're up in Loveland and some of these great ski destinations that people like to attend for Christmas, really good shot at seeing, in my opinion, white Christmas is when it snows on Christmas.
Yes.
I'm kind of forecasted here in Denver a little bit tomorrow night into Christmas Eve. I'm going to be at the Denver Bronco New England Patriots game Sunday night, Christmas Eve.
Whoop.
Big game. So it's looking like we could be getting snow for that game. Looking around other parts of the country, down in the south from Arizona to Texas, looking like a lot of rain, a lot of moisture in the air this year. Temperatures are going to start coming down in those areas, down, lower lows, so to speak. We're going to start seeing those 40 degrees, 50 degrees in these areas. But pretty wet conditions across the south. Up where I'm from in New England, you guys are looking like you're in the clear, maybe overcast conditions, still keeping a close eye on that, Art. But the best chance for a white Christmas really is out here in the Rocky Mountains.
Let's go. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. And so things to do this weekend, and that was great. I like a snowy Christmas. Personally, I do. But I've never really done the California Christmas. Where you go out there.
Arizona.
Yeah, like where it's just whatever, you're just kind of putting on. So I would like to do it like that sometime, go island time. Have you ever went island time for the holidays?
No, I've always been in a colder climate. I mean, here in Denver, obviously, it's not uncommon to have 60-degree Christmases.
Yeah.
Right? But I've never gone island time or like vacationed for Christmas. I've always kind of spent it at my current residence.
Anyone doing those road trips locally for states around or driving around, just be careful out there driving around in the snow. And we got a pretty rock solid list of things to do this weekend.
Pretty exciting, guys. Of course, it's a holiday weekend. I really spent a lot of time looking at all the fun things that are going on around the country this weekend. And so the first thing that you can do is rock around the Christmas tree. That's going to be happening in Chicago, Illinois. So rocking around the Christmas tree. Fantastic. Home Alone was filmed there, so it just kind of makes sense.
Absolutely. I love this next one, too, so much, which unfortunately I'm going to have to miss out on because I opted for the decor. But, yeah, people are going to be drinking eggnog and eating Christmas cookies in Boston, Massachusetts.
That's pretty common up there. And in Boston, I wouldn't be surprised if they put a little bit of that Irish cream in that eggnog and make it just a little bit more adult.
Let's really get toasty.
Yes. And, we already know what I'm doing on Christmas Eve, but you could enjoy a delicious Christmas Eve meal down in Phoenix, Arizona with your lights on the cactus. I mean, it could be just tremendous. But if they're foregoing the decor, maybe the lights aren't on the cactus.
Yeah, maybe they're eating cactus instead.
I don't know about that.
I mean, there has to be some kind of Christmas traditional cactus dish.
I mean, there's a Christmas cactus for sure.
There has to be something like that.
That's possible.
But when you're in Atlanta, Georgia, you're definitely going to want to be exchanging gifts with friends and family and smiling while you're doing it. Have fun with it this year. Come on.
Yes. A lot of Christmas cheer and, singing Christmas carols, going door to door. If you're up in Detroit, Michigan, where it's nice and cold, Christmas carols are going to be sung. And you can go door to door and do that. Of course, guys, we're having fun with this. If you follow the show, we usually do fun things going on. It's the holiday. You can do any of these things anywhere in the country. We were just kind of keeping the theme of usually how we wrap these things up.
Oh, I loved it, man. That was fun. That was fun.
I wish I would have brought your Christmas gift to give you live action on the air. We fucked that up.
Hey, well, it is what it is now, and there's no going back.
Can't change it now.
No.
So Merry Christmas, Art. You know I love you.
Merry Christmas, man. I love you too, bro.
And love all of our continued support here at Discussion Combustion Podcast and Happy Friday, America. Definitely be sure to mash that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We got one more for 2023. Of course, we already went over the Friday polls that are over on the Twitter/X at Happy Friday. At Happy Fry, USA. That's at Happy Fry USA. Instagram and Facebook. That's where a lot of things are happening over there, guys. There's a lot of traction and things just with stories, and we do a little bit more over there. Twitter X doesn't really do as much as that, so that's why we do the poll exclusively there. But Instagram, Facebook, that's going to be at Happy Friday USA. And if you want to send us an email, that's happyfriday@gmail.com. If you want to send us a segment idea, maybe a Christmas card, just something fun, whatever you think. Maybe we're switching it up here going into 2024, doing some new segment ideas, anything like that. Feel free to get in touch with us any which way you just heard. That'll all be down in the show notes as well. And the Fricashinas are about ready to rock and roll us into the Christmas. Enjoy your weekend. Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you next week.